I want to tell you something else about sunblock. I tell my clients this for a reason. So, you will very often get, let's call it a foundation with sunblock added.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been someone that used a product for years like that. We're not going to mention other products, but
thinking that you are actually protecting your skin.
Totally.
Okay. So we once sat in a class with Dr. Bradley Wagenmaker from Lamel, and it was a pigmentation class, and he said the next thing: reapplication is as imperative as the amount of sunblock. Now, as therapists who are there, we all know what reapplication means. So I actually asked him, so what's the right amount? And I tell all my clients this for a reason. And he said, no one uses enough sunblock, a tot glass per day per face, neck and décolleté. Yeah. And that we all had a jaw-dropping moment.
Yeah.
So do we expect you, when you use our sunblocks, to use a tot glass full? No. They formulate it in a certain way for a certain amount. But the normal just sunblocks that you purchase on shelves, yeah, you're supposed to use a lot. So my question, and why I actually mention this to clients, is I actually use it once again in my hands and say, how much moisturizer do you use? About this much. So if there's sunblock in there, how much sunblock's in here in comparison to a tot glass of sunblock? So I think that's important to note. It thins down the function. If you add it to a moisturizer, it should go on separately.
Okay.
What do you understand about UVA radiation?
Not much.
In comparison to UVB?
I don't even know the difference.
Okay, can I tell you?
Please do.
Okay. UVA, it's easy to remember, is your aging ray. UVB, your burning ray. Okay. So let's start with UVB, because that's the one the public considers. The UVB ray reaches the earth in summer. It's a longer ray. So it's warmer in summer because of that. It's at its most harmful between 12 and 3. Poor children at school that's on Accutane and vitamin A products that doesn't reapply sunblock, we're going to see huge problems in the future in regards to that. Okay, it works epidermally, which means it doesn't go down to the DNA and works inside the skin. By the way, do you know why you tan if you are in the sun? Why does the skin do that?
I always thought it burned.
The melanocyte, which is responsible for your color production, which God has given you the color that you are from skin type 1 to 6. 6 is this color, 1 is a white, spider white, never tan. Depends on your melanocyte activity. So when you go into UVB, this little thing, you've got 1, the melanocyte actually perceives danger here and starts producing more color to form almost an umbrella protecting living skin cell. That's why you tan.
So it's making it darker to protect it?
Yeah, because the melanocyte is stimulated.
Okay, never knew that.
You shed skin after burning too much because the skin is such an intelligent organ. It realizes in the DNA there's damage. It tries to get rid of it. Hence, it throws off skin. And then I get clients that says, I really only tan after that first one that I shed skin and then my skin is ready to tan. I think, oh my goodness, okay. So continuous burning with the burning UVB, which you feel, it burns you, it blisters you, it tans you, being the most active and should really be avoided, except if you have sunblock on between 12 and 3, can cause skin cancer if you continuously burn with it. Okay. Okay, let's switch to UVA. UVA is your aging ray. Now, explaining the ray to you, it is one strength right throughout the day. It's not stronger between 12 and 3. The ray is always long reaching the earth. It's not shorter according to summer or winter. It doesn't work in your epidermis. It works in your dermis. What I mean with that is it goes through and damages here, being responsible for aging skin that I've explained to you. So you don't feel it, you don't tan from it, you don't change color from it. So you're not aware of it. Now here's the thing that all my clients need to understand, and once they have that, they are really willing to do application of sunblock. Unfortunately, we don't only get UVA radiation from the sun. We very strongly get it from computers, tube lights and through windows. So if you drive for 8 hours in summer in your car, you do not tan through your window, you age through your window. So people who drives a lot will see pigmentation on the hands here because of sun exposure or UVA exposure through a window. So if you're indoors all the time, once a day should suffice unless you're behind a computer. And how many people today, Andy, that we know work online? That's their jobs.
Yeah.
Not realizing you get blue screens, I believe, that actually does help a bit, but you get very strong UVA radiation from computers.
So would you then have to apply if you work indoors, like the entire day, but in front of a computer?
Yes, twice.
Sunblock,
Yes.
sun protection.
Look, yes, absolutely, because there's UVA radiation.
But you, okay, so you said you don't feel it, you don't get browner,
No, you age.
but that is
You age.
damaging your skin.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
I
if
really didn't.
So if we look at a 50 sunblock, which lasts 500 minutes, that's more or less 8 hours. That's more or less a working day.
Okay.
So then I would say once a day would suffice, unless you've sweated it off or whatever.
And you will then apply it up to your décolleté. You will.
Well, if it's summer and you're wearing something that shows your décolleté, and
Yeah, I mean, obviously summer you always open.
absolutely, and your neck. People just ignore their necks. The little bit that's on their hands, and they apply to the neck. Where do we age first? Neck and hands. This is such thin, fragile skin.
Yeah.
So we need to take care of it. I mean, the Japanese girls do skincare from underneath the boobs up.
Yeah.
South Africans from here.
Yeah, I know.
And use perfume and not sunblock.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is a topic on its own. I mean,
Absolutely.
what you just told me, I never, as you asked the question of UV,
A and B.
I just knew about UV, UV protection, and you think it's the sun tan
Exactly. Exactly.
12 to 3.
So now, so do you now have more understanding why we are so serious about using? So sunblock AD becomes part of skincare. That is the last thing you apply on your skin before looking out the window, before moving. You apply it at least once a day.